dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Students at Floyd Central High School had worked since January to plan their 22nd annual Math Day. The 13-event competition tests student skills with numbers and technology. However, everything changed when a fallen tree knocked the power out for the entire school. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to teachers who say their students are still taking away an important life lesson.
Life has a way of keeping us on our toes.
This is our 22nd annual Math Day. We started at Allen Central, and then when we consolidated the two schools, we brought it to Floyd Central with us.
Students and teachers at Floyd Central High School began planning for Math Day in January.
You really see the students step up and pull their very best.
Nearly 150 middle school students in Floyd County compete in the event. This year is special for math teacher and event founder Amy Halbert.
It's difficult. It's been
This is Miss Halbert's 28th year teaching and her last.
It's been one of my favorite things to do with the kids.
She plans to retire soon, but Friday, a tree took out some power lines near the school.
Due to a power outage, we're dismissing school early.
Working fast to organize a game plan to reschedule the event. Assistant Principal Cynthia Turner says they always keep the students' safety in mind.
It is chaotic and everything. We're trying to do a lot of different things.
And while Math Day did not run smoothly,
And even today, when we've had a lot of snags, they're coming out and they're stepping up and doing things and working out situations, troubleshooting.
Ms. Halbert says her students learned more than she could have ever imagined.
I love to watch that in action.
In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Electricity was restored to the building after a few hours. Amy Halbert says they hope to reschedule Math Day for later this month.
Most of us are seeing a break in the rain chances for now, but those soggy conditions will definitely continue as we head into tonight and into your Saturday as well. You'll notice as we take a look at the Mountain Parkway over into Powell County, they're dealing with those drier conditions, but those mostly cloudy skies, and there's the rain impacting more of our eastern part of really our viewing area and even over into Virginia and West Virginia. And you'll notice that line is already starting to move in again. We're seeing those showers starting to pop up really along I-75 into Whitley County, Laurel County, up into Jackson County as well. So that's going to continue to move east and impact us, and really those rain chances going to be on and off starting now until your Saturday. You'll notice where that cooler area is too, as that stationary front's over us, and as that continues to push through, well, it's going to continue to cool us off. 67 Hazard in Jackson, 63 in Harlan, 68 in London, 62 in Prestonsburg, but you'll notice 50 Somerset over into Richmond, even a 48 in Danville. So even compared to this time yesterday, we are a lot cooler than we were 24 hours ago, about 15 degrees cooler, 30 degrees cooler over into Lexington, Danville, and Richmond, and that's what's on the way. So we do have a chilly day for your Saturday and a soggy one as well. But what about that Easter weekend forecast? I'll have that coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. The University of Kentucky is getting another big grant. This one focuses on keeping horses safe. It's all come into question with focus on racetracks like Santa Anita, where more than 20 horses have died. Adam Berniston has more about the impacts this could make on the horse racing industry.
With a grant of $100,000 from the National Thoroughbred Racing Association, the University of Kentucky is planning to renovate a space within the Charles E. Barnhart Building into an equine surface and safety laboratory, where researchers will be able to study and develop technology to improve safety within the sport of horse racing.
The technology to provide real-time sensors and real-time technology, and then understand how those sensors provide information that we can use to reduce musculoskeletal injury in the horse.
Now, even before this new laboratory is fully completed, Dr. Peterson tells me they will still be able to use the new equipment as it comes in, which will help them continue to make a big impact on the safety of horse racing.
In engineering research, what you're doing this year doesn't look anything like you're doing in 5 years if you're successful. So we hope this is the sort of a laboratory area that evolves over time and we start asking completely different questions.
And as the laboratory evolves and the questions change, Dr. Peterson says their main focus through this research will always be to make both riders and horses safer on the track.
Every morning, the racetrack superintendent is responsible for building a safety critical system, and so we need to provide that superintendent with more information for their decision-making process.
In Lexington, Adam Burniston, WYMT Mountain News.
Renovations are expected to begin by the summer and will be used for research within a few months. A grand jury indicted a Kentucky sheriff. Police say Todd Pate drove drunk, hitting a car and injuring the other car's driver. Here he is. Pate is the sheriff of Breckinridge County. His attorney says the sheriff is in a drug rehab program now. Pate's charges include wanton endangerment, DUI, and tampering with evidence. In Pulaski County, a crash between a semi and car injures 2 people. Officials say the crash happened around 11 this morning in Ferguson. 2 people in the car were hurt. 1 was airlifted to the hospital. The semi-truck driver was okay. A crash reconstruction unit was called to the scene. 5 Kentucky school districts will receive more than $231,000. It's a move to reduce diesel emissions in their bus fleets. Letcher County is one of those districts. State officials say they will use the money to replace older model diesel school buses with new diesel buses. In Wisconsin, a police chase ended with a crash that involved a school bus. 7 people went to the hospital, including a 13-year-old boy. Police in Milwaukee say this started as a traffic stop. They say there were 4 suspects in the blue car you see there. A pickup was also involved in the crash. It's unclear what charges might be filed. Looking ahead now, Americans on federal food assistance will soon be able to pay for groceries online. Amazon, Walmart, and ShopRite are testing a program to allow SNAP recipients in New York to use their EBT cards to buy meats, produce, and milk. The pilot program will eventually expand to other states. Students and community members dropped by the University of Pikeville today for a hands-on science event that organizers say was a success. As part of this week's Remake Learning Days events, UPike's Science Department hosted a physics zoo with more than 50 hands-on physics activities. Several community members dropped by for the free event, and students from many local schools also joined in on the fun.
They've really buckled down. They've interacted with things. They've read the signs. They've understood the science. They've gravitated back to something that's really fascinated them. So it's been a tremendous experience. I think the teachers have given me the same feedback, that they see this light in the students' eyes.
Remake Learning Days events continue through tomorrow. Ale8 is getting people excited for its first ever seasonal flavor. The company released this commercial on Facebook. It is promoting the Ale8 Orange Cream Vanilla flavor, the perfect summer mix of an original Ale8 with an orange dreamsicle. It will be in stores in May. Ale8 says once it's gone, there will be no more. Health leaders are concerned that travel this holiday weekend could mean more cases of the measles. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is confirming more than 500 cases in 20 states. Yesterday, a judge in New York dismissed a lawsuit that challenged an emergency declaration requiring people living in a hard-hit neighborhood to get vaccinated. An outbreak in New York is centered around some highly concentrated ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities. More than 250 cases have been reported in the last 7 months. Still, some parents are not happy about the vaccine requirement.
We're all for the appropriate measures to control an outbreak of disease, but New Yorkers are not going to accept criminal penalties for vaccination. That's not appropriate. People have a right to make their choice.
The only way to stop this outbreak is to ensure that those who have not been vaccinated get the vaccine.
New York has ordered people older than 6 months who live or go to school in the affected community to get vaccinated or face a $1,000 fine. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, new numbers show this flu season is now one of the longest in 2 decades. Hear what health officials have to say.
While we're seeing a break in the rain for now, we're going to see those rain chances really increase, especially as we head into the overnight hours and into your Saturday as well. I have that full Easter forecast for you guys coming up in just a few short minutes.
And then later at 6, we'll tell you how some middle schoolers in Barberville got a scare last night on their way back home from a soccer game.